Hey everybody, and welcome to Bible class. Can you join me in the Gospel of Luke chapter 2, where we'll read together from our Bibles in just a moment. I'm so excited to kick off a brand new study we've called People Who Crossed Paths with Jesus. Jesus is going to be the main character of this study, but we want to look at him and watch him and hear him through the eyes of some ordinary men and women who crossed paths with him, because we want to cross paths with him and walk with him for the rest of our lives, right? We want to be more than hearers, more even than students. We want to be followers of Jesus. And I'm excited to start with you in Luke chapter 2. Jesus was very, very young at this point, and yet there is a man and a woman who crossed paths with him, and we're going to hear some important words in today's study that I hope we'll remember for the rest of our time together. In Luke chapter 2, verse 21, we read, at the end of 8 days, when he was circumcised, he was called Jesus. You see, this was the time when Jesus was just a baby. This name was given to him by the angel before he was conceived in the womb. Obviously, there are some things that have happened in Luke's gospel that we might go back and explore together as a class. But for now, over the next few verses, it becomes clear a little time has passed. Jesus is still a baby, but we might take a field trip together as a class back to the old law of Moses and see if we can't figure out exactly how old he was. For now, let's just read in Luke chapter 2, verse 22, when the time came for their purification. We've got Joseph and Mary, the mother of Jesus, and now this baby. When the time for their purification came, according to the law of Moses, they brought him up to Jerusalem, this baby, Jesus, to present him to the Lord, as it is written in the law of the Lord. Every male who first opens the womb shall be called holy to the Lord. And they came to offer a sacrifice according to what is said in the law of the Lord, a pair of turtle doves or 2 young pigeons. Now, let's listen up. There was a man in Jerusalem whose name was Simeon. And this man was righteous and devout, waiting for the consolation of Israel. And the Holy Spirit was upon him, and it had been revealed to him by the Holy Spirit that he would not see death before he had seen the Lord's Christ. And he came in the Spirit into the temple, and when the parents brought in the child Jesus to do for him according to the custom of the law, he took him up in his arms and blessed God. Simeon takes up this baby and blesses God, saying, Lord, now you are letting your servant depart in peace according to your word. For my eyes have seen your salvation that you have prepared in the presence of all people, a light for revelation to the Gentiles and for glory to your people Israel. And when Joseph and Mary hear this, they marvel at what is being said about this little baby. Simeon blesses them and says to Mary, his mother, behold, this child is appointed for the fall and rising of many in Israel, and for a sign that is opposed, and a sword will pierce through your own soul also, so that thoughts from many hearts may be revealed. Now, I want you to think about that. We've heard a lot of important sounding words attached to this man who crossed paths with Jesus. We've heard about the consolation of Israel and the Lord's Christ and salvation and revelation to the Gentiles. And we've heard about a sword that will pierce Mary's own soul. What is that all about? We'll talk about that together. For now, could I show you one more? In verse 36, there was a prophetess. Her name was Anna. She was the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher. She was advanced in years. She's old, having lived with her husband 7 years from when she was a virgin and then as a widow until she was 84. She did not depart from the temple, worshiping with fasting and prayer night and day. And coming up at that very hour, she began to give thanks to God and to speak of him to all who were waiting for the redemption of Jerusalem. Two people, Simeon and Anna. And what we're going to do in each one of these lessons is just briefly note their story. I'll give you a little bit of background in these videos and then turn it over to your in-person class teacher, because we also want to cross paths with Jesus and learn more about Jesus and follow Jesus for the rest of our lives. So what can we learn from the examples of Simeon and Anna? Let's talk about it. Thanks so much for being in class today. Hope you have a great rest of your class and a great start to this new week.